empathy over sympathy. Okay guys, so ever since I broke the news of the passing of my little girl, people have been reaching out, offering their most sincerest condolences, sympathies, asking if we need anything and if there is anything that they could do, which is super thoughtful, generous, and has been much appreciated by us. Now, the other thing is that most of you might not know this, but my family are everywhere in the world. Some of them are in Europe, some of them in Africa, some of them in Canada, many in the United States, and me all the way and away from everyone here in Australia. So during this time of my life, all they wish and want to do is take this pain away from me. Understandably so, because no one wants to see their loved one hurt or in pain. My mom calls me every second day telling me, don't cry, while she's crying herself. And I have to tell her, Mom, it's you that is crying, not me. That has been the same with some close family and friends. They are all lost in pain with me. And all they wanted to do is talk to me, hear my voice, see my face, make sure that I know that they are here. But I noticed something very interesting. I find myself unconsciously withdrawing back from most of them, not taking them on their offers, not wanting or feeling like talking to them. And I know to a degree that it's kind of normal. But I felt this was more than the usual of not wanting to talk in a time like this. I mean, I know those people are people who genuinely care for me, love me, and all they wanted to do is help me, be there for me. But something is not quite right. What am I missing? I would ask myself. So, being the naturally curious and inquisitive person that I am, I start to dig deep into this why. Why do I feel more comfortable talking to some people over others? What am I getting from some people that I have chosen to talk over the others that I don't feel like talking? What was the missing ingredient? Then it hit me. I was drawn to people who were good at empathizing over sympathizing. You see, when you are already going through your own pain, it is difficult to be able to help someone who is going through the same thing. Neither of you could help each other. Not when you are sitting facing mirror to mirror with each other, whether physically or emotionally. A couple weeks ago, a friend of mine called me, and when I heard her voice, I broke into tears. And she started to feel helpless and overwhelmed by me crying. She was starting to freak out. She told she was causing me to cry, and next thing I know, she was apologizing profusely for making me cry. And she said, I'm so sorry, and she swiftly hung up the phone. And I snapped out of my cry just to realize that she's hung up the phone. And I kind of start to feel, did I do something wrong? The reality is that this is a really good friend of mine who I know cares for me. What happened to her was that she took in all my pain and was instantly overwhelmed by them. And because of that, she couldn't help either of us. As they say, we were literally both on the same boat. But imagine she didn't take in all my pain, that instead she empathized. Imagine she was able to just listen, focus on me, and stand with me by allowing me to let out my pain by crying and not being consumed by them herself. Because all I wanted to do at that very moment was cry. That was all I needed then. And she would have been able to give me that if she wasn't focusing on to possibly taking my pain away and say the right thing and do the right thing. But that's what most of us do without even realizing. When someone we care about is going through pain, what we do is sympathize so much and feel all their pain, which in turn makes us not only not capable of helping, but doing the opposite of what we have intended to do. We feel someone else's pain so much, we want to take it away from them. And we say, don't cry, you gotta be strong, you gotta be strong. And all those things might be true. But days and weeks after a loss is not where you need to be strong or not to cry. I mean, each to its own. If you feel strong and you want to celebrate your loved one instead of crying, that's okay. But it's also okay to cry and not be strong. And also remember, cry is not always a bad thing. It's a release of sadness and pain. The point I am trying to get here is don't focus on taking a person's pain away, for no one can. If you try, you will end up doing the opposite of despite your best intentions. And that is what I want to talk to you today. So that next time you have a family or a friend that is going through some type of pain or hurt, you can be better armed to help them. And also not be burned yourself in the process by sympathizing instead of empathizing. I shared with you last time that in one of the books that I am reading that has been helping me, or I have been resonated most, is called Getting Past the Pain Between Us by Marsha Rosenberg. Marsha describes those two really well too, but basically the difference, as you probably already know now, is that empathy is listening, understanding someone else's pain so you can better help them meet their need at that time. Because you listened, you observed and paid attention to how exactly they are feeling. And sympathy is feeling what the other person is feeling and getting lost and overwhelmed in their pain yourself because of their pain. Or in other words, one is being fully present in listening and understanding, and the other is getting lost in their pain. Marsha describes as with empathy, you are full with them, not full of them. That is the difference, and that is the key, and that is what I think most of us miss when we're trying to comfort someone who has been through some kind of enormous pain or any kind of pain. Sometimes the loss and the pain are too heartbreaking that we can't help in taking the pain, but we can do the next best thing, and that is listen and see what they say they need and watch what they are doing and simply being there to facilitate that and help any way you can. Not get sucked into completely in their pain or want to do everything that you can to take their pain away by jumping the gun too soon to do what you think the other person needs. When dealing with someone who has just experienced an enormous loss or heartache, just being there is sometimes all we can do. If they need space, remember you are helping them by giving them just that. And a lot of the times, it's not about telling them what we think they need to hear. Of course, don't be discouraged to check on them from time to time and send them anything you think that might help them. I know that I really enjoyed reading a lot of poems and comforting words that I got from my family and friends. And even a just simple text of "I love you," "I am thinking of you," had made a big difference for me at times. And just to help you master your new skill of empathizing, I'll share with you 3 things that Marshall recommends. So this is completely synced and you are completely armed for the next mission. So the first one is being present, which is all about focusing on the now. That is being present and listening to them, because 9 out of 10, they will actually tell you what they need, or at the very least, they will give you clues so you can understand where they are. The second step is to not interrupt or cut their flow just because you feel what you have will help them. This is a real temptation for all of us, because we are always tempted to jump in and console and say something before the person even gets to the bottom of it. It's not intentional, it's just how most of us are wired, myself included. It's nothing to be ashamed, but definitely worth being aware of it and trying to work at it. Sometimes when they stop talking, they are just shifting gears before they come back with something which might contain the glue that will help us to see the whole picture and fully understand where they are at. We need to be patient and wait until they give us the sign that they are finished. And naturally, you will hear it, the relief in their voice when someone is done and getting something off their chest if you really pay attention. And when in doubt, don't be afraid to ask, is there something else you want to tell me? As that is better than jumping the gun and trying to read someone else's mind. And finally, number 3 is, when in doubt, check in to make sure you are in the right path. Sometimes we think that we got it, but in actual fact, we really don't. And this is not something you want to get wrong. Not when what you do or don't do can potentially end up making things worse or cause more pain. You need to make sure that you are connecting with them. Whatever they need and wants are in that moment, that might require actually verbally verifying from them if and when you are not sure. And this is why it's actually crucial to be present and to actively listen. And if looking at them is too much for you to focus and not get wrapped up and be consumed with all the flying emotions, try to looking away and looking at the floor from time to time to help you be more present and fully listen to what they are saying. We are all still human beings, which means that even when we know that we need to do, we sometimes fail to do so. And that's okay. Sometimes the best thing we can do is keep trying to be there and not be afraid to make a mistake so you can learn from them. That's it for me, guys. I hope this helps you and that you feel that you have learned something new. If there is something that I missed or other ways that you know could help someone going through something that has helped you, share it below in the comment section. Let's learn from each other and together. Share how you normally deal with people living through a loss and pain. And if you are currently going through something yourself, I hope this helps you. And don't be shy to tell me if you think I am wrong or missing something, because that is the only way how we can truly learn. Remember to always be mindful of the energy that you bring in Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you.